It's recording now. You guys are in for some value bombs today, man. Y'all have the funny thing about you guys is right now, none of y'all even know what's about to hit y'all. Like y'all just sitting there like, oh, it's about to be a good Monday, about to have fun, about to be a good time. But y'all don't even know how much value you guys are about to get. Like y'all about to start this week like, man, this is gonna be the perfect bounce back from the Chiefs yesterday. I'm telling you that right now. It's the perfect bounce back from the Chiefs. So
it was a tough watch, man.
Oh my God. It's emotional.
Show up.
Good Monday if you're a Tampa Bucks fan.
Anybody cried last night?
No.
And
I love the Chiefs.
Do you count some of the commercials?
Yeah.
There were a couple of heart-wrenching commercials, I thought. But I didn't see a football game. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I got a little emotional at the adoption commercial, the special needs adoption commercial, because I've got 2 adopted children. So, Well, what about you, Alan? Did you cry? Did you cry last night? You asked the question and then you didn't give your own answer.
I was kind of hoping somebody else did too. That's why I asked. I was hoping somebody else cried about Chiefs losing last night too. But at the same time, we bounced back. All right, now we are live. Welcome to the ACA Virtual Coffee with a little motivation. And today is actually going to be a lot of motivation because you guys absolutely have a treat going in for you today. I want to say thank you for everyone that's attending this coffee, attending this virtual meeting. We have people tuning in here. We have people tuning in from Facebook as well. The people in Facebook, feel free to join right now by clicking the link. And I want to just say welcome to the show. You know, a little bit about what we're going to talk about is we have a phenomenal guy today that's going to give you guys an immense amount of value. I will give you a little sneak peek right now of him because we have to do the breakout rooms. But the little sneak peek I'm going to give you is if you listen to what this man says and you apply what he says, there is a great possibility that you will 2 times your business this year. I will simply leave it at that. I am a living example of that. I've worked with him as well. He's a phenomenal guy. Trust his heart. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So first aspect is we're going to go into our breakout rooms. Now, when you're in the breakout rooms, I want everyone to talk about a little bit about where they're from, what they do for a living, and then what meaning or what impact they want to make on the world. Okay, so where are you from? What do you do for a living? And what impact you want to make on the world? And this will be about 10 minutes. So I'll put the disclaimer and timers and everything in there for you. So I'm gonna set up the breakout rooms right now. While they're in the breakout rooms, to the lions that's watching us from Facebook, YouTube, and all other outlets, is I want to talk to you about the importance of actively creating and choosing your community. I'm a firm believer. That's what I always say. The quality of our lives is the quality of our relationships. So what are the quality of the relationships that you have? Because most of the time, you're going to have to engage people first. You're going to have to engage people. You're going to have to interact with people in order to set up a relationship. You know, you can meet someone, but if you're just waiting and hoping that they're going to interact with you, then that's just kind of just, if you meet someone you like, say, hey, let's grab coffee sometime. I'd love to connect with you. And then when you meet with them, don't just make it a speed date. Like don't hang out with them one time and then never hit them up again. Hang out with them, have coffee with them. And then after say, hey, thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed visiting you. Would love to do it again sometime. And then actually follow up with them. When I first moved to Kansas City, I realized that I had to create my own community. I kind of came here kind of expecting like, oh, maybe I'll just naturally meet people and time to go by. And I ended up pretty much alone for a very long time. So I had to actually, okay, this is going to be hard to believe. I had to leave the house to build a community. I had to leave the house and connect with people. A lot of people think, oh, if I just sit at home, you know, maybe someday I'll just meet more people, get more friends. If you want more friends, if you want a bigger community, you want like-minded people, you have to go out and you have to be active yourself. You have to go and you have to connect with others yourself. You got to be the one that sets that intentional connection. And that's just one thing I've learned. Like anytime we just cross our fingers and hope that, we'll just manifest new people in our life, manifest new friends, it doesn't work, at least reliably. It really doesn't work. So be very intentional about creating your community. Another aspect is make sure that you're willing to have conversations with people in your life that reflect your truth of yourself. Never, because for example, there's some people that like you're talking to them and they just keep on talking and they just don't stop. And you're just like, I'm just going to wait till they're done talking and then I'm gonna leave. Like I've done that plenty of times where I'm just I gotta go, but and then I'll be like, well, maybe I gotta run here shortly, but really I gotta go now. So just say, hey, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you speaking about everything, but I really have to go now. Don't be afraid to stop people while they're talking if you have somewhere to be. Like, I want you guys to start prioritizing yourself. Start prioritizing yourself in your time, because that's something that's very, very important. So really surround yourself with people that honor your time. That every once in a while that says, hey, do you have anywhere to be, or am I talking too much, or anything like that? This is one of those simple things. We all know of people that when they're talking, they keep going on and on and on, and we feel kind of just stuck there. So that's another aspect. Really, really focus on that. Okay. Next aspect, the people you attract in your life, you're not attracting the people you want, you're attracting the people you are. So people say, oh, I want better friends, better connections, better clientele. Well, you can't really deeply connect on a consistent level with people that's like at a way, way, way higher frequency to you. I mean, you can get mentoring from them, but to connect as people and friends, you have to be willing to rise up yourself. So don't be afraid if you're hanging out with someone and you're learning things and then they give you feedback about you. They say, hey, just so you know, you're late a lot. And then you're kind of just like, oh, well, I'll do I had something come up, and you have excuses. Never ever share your excuses. Just say, oh, I respect that. I'll work on being more on time. You see, so we have Joel Wilson in the room. I'll put you in a breakout room to connect. Let's see, breakout rooms. Okay, cool. You hear me, Joe?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Right now, I'm giving like a little talk to the people on Facebook that's watching right now, and everyone's in breakout rooms right now. And let me see if I can maybe put you in one. But was you listening to what I was saying so far though about connecting?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I see that happening a lot, and trying to figure out, how's a good way to break the conversation and go with, and not be 10 minutes late to the next thing, right?
Exactly. That's the thing, being able to break conversation and just go without being late to your next thing. So it comes down to prioritizing yourself, and also being able to say, no, I gotta go.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So it's not letting me put you in a breakout room, Joe. So you're just gonna hang out with me.
All right.
You're just gonna hang out with me and Alliance. What's another good community lesson that you feel like the world should hear?
I mean, I think you gotta have a purpose too, because if you don't have a purpose for everything that's on your time block, then I think that's where you fall into that. I gotta go, but yeah, I really gotta go, but okay, So if you don't have a purpose for the next thing in your time block, a reason for doing it and a reason why it's there, then that just leaves you open to breaking that time block.
Yeah, you have a purpose, and that makes it stronger. That's really good. Wise words, Joel. You sound like a lion. Are you part of the lion team?
I am not. Nope.
Oh my goodness. On Facebook, search Facebook groups for the Lion Team. It's a huge positive group of people that's very intentional, very loving, very open-hearted. And we all network, we all connect with one another. It's a group that I built And it's absolutely amazing. It's called the Lion Team on Facebook. You join that group, I'll accept you. And believe me, your wisdom, that little tidbit right there kind of tells me that you're on the purpose path. And we need more people like that in the Lion Team.
All right. Very good.
Great community. You introduce yourself. I guarantee you they'll shower you with welcome and just that positive community for anyone that needs it. So
yeah.
The last thing that I'll say to the Lions is take time to nurture your community. Take time to nurture people in your life. Nurturing is every once in a while, just go through your phone, people you ain't talked to for like maybe more than a week. Hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're having an amazing day. Okay, bye. Next person. Hey, just thinking about you. Actually, even better, what I do is I send voice notes. I'll like pick every person, pick a random person a day to say, hey, I just wanted to send you a voice note to say that I think you're absolutely amazing. I think you're really cool. I'm so grateful you're in my life. And this is, it's just, you're just such a positive influence. Just make somebody's day. Like, when are we going to start just making people's day on a regular basis? I think that's something that we really need to implement, is just learn how to make people's day and also take the time to really, really connect with them. So that's a really, really important tidbit that I want to share with you. So take the time to do that. Make someone's day. Make someone's day great. You have the wherewithal within you to reach out to people on a daily basis. Just a quick voice note. You never know how far a 2 or 3 minute voice note, or even a 1 minute voice note of you just showing appreciation for someone could really go. So who's here heard of UFC before? Like, who's heard of UFC, the fighting championship? Yeah. There's Bruce Buffer. I'm going to like try to imitate his introduction. So he's like, and now for the main event. You guys' presenter today is a man that goes by the name of Mike Kitko with Mike Kitko Coaching. Mike Kitko, from my experience, is an amazing man. He's an executive coach. He's a speaker. He's an author of a book called Imposter in Charge. And he is a master at helping business owners unlock their true potential and actually live into that true potential. There's so many people that talks about what they want in life. This is a guy that actually helps you apply that and create that within your business. He's a great amount of value. I've connected with him. So if you guys can all right now unmute yourself and please clap, give it up for the one, the only, the legend, Mike Kitko.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Tim and Melissa and I had a really good discussion. And guys, I'll lead with this. Okay. I don't believe that we need to sacrifice any part of our life to have everything that we want to have in our lives. Okay. And I separate, when I draw distinctions, I separate life into 3 areas, and that's health, wealth, and love. So your health, your physical, mental, emotional health, your wealth, and that's your business and how we make money through our business and the impact that we have through our business, and then relationships, and not just our family, but how we relate to other people. And so I'll show you some slides. I'll show you a slide real quick, but I feel like for the first 43 years of my life, I got it completely wrong so that I could learn how to live, to really live, the words that I want to share, to live soul out, and then like hit that switch and move forward from that state, from a non-sacrificial state, and live life that I was designed to live instead of a life that I fell into, or that I didn't control, or I just said yes where I really meant no. I want to share that a slide real quick, just so you can see the difference between the contrast between years ago and today. So 5 years ago, in March of 2016, I was an executive leader in Fortune 500s. I was sharing with Tim and Melissa. I managed $65 million plants for Stanley Black & Decker, a $350 million plant across the river in Granite City, Illinois. But I was also a 300-pound guy that was up to my eyeballs in alcoholism, and I was at times suicidal, and I was also abusive to my wife and my children because I had so much anger and rage because I hated like every aspect of my life. I hated my physical state, my mental state, my emotional state. I hated the career that I was in, and I didn't understand how to lead my family. And that led to a life of, it was just painful. And then fortunately, everything collapsed. I say fortunate because literally I got terminated from my second executive position in 2 years, right around 20 months. And I was like, I had a decision to make. Either I pull the trigger or I start really, really understanding what life was meant to be instead of the life that I had fallen into or I had settled for. And when I hit that reset, guys, I didn't have the full support of my family. Okay. Because when our family is embroiled in our lives, we get so used to settling, or we get so used to the pain, or we get so used to drama, conflict. We get so used to, the the chaos of everyday life. It almost becomes comfortable. We become numb to it. It forms our new baseline. But when I got unceremoniously ejected from corporate, I got the opportunity to hit the reset. And the first thing I did was take full control of my own health. Okay. Now, this came at not the expense of my family, but my family didn't necessarily love the changes that I was making in my life. In fact, at that time, my 14-year-old daughter said I was making too many changes, that it was uncomfortable, and she was trying to get us back to my daughters who were freaking 14 and 12 were trying to get us back into chaos because chaos was comfortable. They didn't understand anything okay. But I took full control and authority and autonomy over my own state and what I wanted to be in the world. From there, after my physical, mental, and emotional health started coming back into play, then I started realizing that I could do more. I could be more in this world than just be a sacrificial lamb in corporate, in Fortune 500 America, where I never wanted to be and I didn't belong. All right. And this is when I really started. I shared with Tim and Melissa, I was in Fortune 500s and I was in corporate and I did 1,000 things. And the only thing I ever loved was lighting people's souls on fire and helping them get where they wanted to get in life. And I did everything else because I thought I had to in order to do that one thing. And then I cast all of that aside, the 999. And now I just get to focus on exactly what I love to do in the world. And I started building a business through that thing. And it became easily because when we find our passion and we demonstrate and execute our passion in the world, then people love, accept, embrace us, and they start to ask us for that passion that we have, that they want, that they need. The right people show up to support that passion. So this is when I started becoming a published author, an executive coach. I've got clients outside of the United States. So on the international flavor, I speak to large groups and I get to light people's souls on fire every single day. And that's something I get to do. I wake up to do. It's exciting. It's not from a place of sacrifice and depletion. From there, when my wife saw what I was doing, she started to regain a confidence in me and a respect and an intimacy that we never had in our marriage and our relationship before, because she couldn't trust me because I was sacrificing myself on a daily basis because I felt like I had no value to give and that my life was worthless and it wasn't valuable. And it's really hard to respect someone and truly trust them and love them when you're dealing from a place and you're living from a place of sacrifice and pain every single day. As my marriage started coming back into being, my family did as well. And my kids grew out of the state of conflict and they grew out of the state of drama and chaos. And they got to see me live life on my terms. Me and my wife live life on our terms. And now they've grown to love the peace and the harmony and the love. And they see that you don't have to kill yourself for money. You don't have to do what you hate to make money. And you can have an impact in the world in your special, unique way. But as a father, as a husband, I had to be that first before they could see that was available to them. Now, the title today, and this is probably the hardest presentation I've ever given, because you give me 10 minutes. I can't even say my name in 10 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to try to fit this in, guys. All right. So I call them, I call it the mastery blueprint, or we could even call it the prosperity principles. Okay. Now I want you to think about this. No one buys their way into heaven. No one buys peace. If I go out and say, hey guys, who wants to, achieve more peace in the world? Everybody's going to say, I don't need peace. I just need more money. Okay. So I say, here's the mastery blueprint for peace. But really, if I say, hey, you want to make a lot of money? Do this thing. And then everybody will buy into that. And then I can ultimately help them see that it's the mastery blueprint, that's also going to bring more peace and prosperity and love and joy to your life. Okay. But the reason Alan said double the size of your business is because when you focus on growing the business leader, the business grows itself. Take that one to the bank. When you fully immerse yourself and grow the business leader, the business grows itself. You don't need to focus on growing the business, because we are the business. You are your position. You are your career. And as you grow, you create more space, right? I like to call it a container. You are a container for success, happiness, and freedom. And as you grow that container, God, universe, life, whatever you want to call it, as you grow your container, and I'm going to give you the blueprint for that, then God, universe, life, whatever you want to call it, fills it with more of what you want. But if you don't grow your container, then the success, happiness, and freedom is going to overflow over the sides, because there's no room for it. You're going to start to push it away from you. So here's how we're going to grow the container, and I call it the mastery blueprint. Okay. So the first step in the mastery blueprint is to immerse yourself in absolute, complete self-awareness. I am scared on a daily basis. But for a lot of years, I hid the fact that I was scared, that I felt inadequate, insecure, that I felt insignificant. I hid that from people, and now I lead with it. I'm scared just like you. Don't tell me you're not, because I know you're just keeping secrets and you're not fully showing up. We're human beings. We're all scared. Understand those fears. Self-awareness, understanding the traumas you had. I was molested, bullied, abused. I was victimized when I was a child, and that showed up in every aspect of my life. Pretending it doesn't exist isn't going to make it go away. You're going to run from it for the rest of your life. So immerse yourself completely and fully in self-awareness, and everything else gets easier. But if you don't know yourself, your business is suffering, your relationship's suffering, your health suffering, and so is every other aspect of your life. You are the common element to everything in your life. As you grow, as you become more aware of yourself, everything else will become easier. I guarantee it. The second step in the mastery blueprint is to understand what your dream is. Understand your dream. And think about this. Small dream, small life. Big dream, big life. Okay? If your dream is survival, you're always going to be in a state of survival. If your dream is to make it the next month, you're always going to dream of making it to the next month. Or that's the life that you're going to live. Small dream, small life. Big dream, big life. Dream bigger. And this is the cliche, right? If you dream of the stars and you hit the moon, is that really so bad? But most people are not willing to dream, because if you dream too big, what if I'm disappointed? I'm not worth it. I'm scared of that dream. I'll lose people in my life. And that's why we get scared to dream. But fully immerse yourself in your dream, and what you know why you're here. You know the reason that you were born. You know it. Maybe you just haven't fully accepted it, and you haven't dreamed a bigger dream. Step 3 is physical health. All right. Physical health is everything, guys. Without physical health, it's 3 words that I connect with, and I say probably 5,000 times a day as a set: success, happiness, and freedom. I say those 3. That's really what we're after. And we think more money is going to give us that. We think more sex is going to give us that. We think more whatever is going to give us those things. But those things are either locked inside of us or well, those things are locked inside of us, and we have either unlocked them or they're still locked. Does that make any sense? We've either accessed them or not accessed them. Okay, they're not outside of you. But physical health is a way, it's a requirement in order to fully feel successful, happy, and free. You see a lot of people, I've worked with a lot of millionaires that are physically bankrupt, and they'll never feel safe or secure or happy or fulfilled through their money, because their physical health is in like a state of disrepair at that moment, distress, okay, dis-ease. The next step is mental clarity. Okay. So we've moved from the physical to the mental world. And this is not always your friend. Your mind will make up problems when they don't exist. Your mind will tell you that there's problems when there's not. And your mind will keep you in a constant state of chaos, drama. I just made a post this morning on Facebook. And let me open it up and read it real quick, because I thought it was pretty good. I said, the human default is to claim to want peace and happiness, then to create chaos and drama when peace and happiness appear. Humans hate to be bored. Most prefer to do rather than to be. And I went on a little bit. That's because of this. When you start to get the peace and the happiness you want, your mind says, we got to do something different because we can't sit still. We've got to always be in constant motion. And that's your mind bringing you and inviting chaos and drama and conflict in your life. Okay. So what we focus on, we create. And if we're focused on chaos, we'll create chaos. If we're focused on building or when we jumped into our breakout room, the question was, what's impact? And it took Melissa a few minutes to think about the impact that she wanted to make. So when we focus on the impact that we want to make, then we're given more opportunities to create that impact in the world. So it's really getting clear about what you want so that you can focus on it, and recognizing that this is not always your ally. Okay. The next step is emotional courage. And this is the one that people hate. I'm going to be honest, because until I had shame from molestation when I was a child, I had shame locked inside of me. I had fear. I had lack of safety because the adults that were in my life that were responsible for my safety didn't provide that safety. I had so much fear and anger and resentment and shame. And I'm getting emotional right now thinking of this, but I had all that locked inside of me. And until I was willing and able to feel it and literally allow it to consume me, it wouldn't resolve, and I couldn't heal it, because in order to heal, we must feel those things. Emotional courage isn't the absence of emotion. It's the willingness and the acceptance and the desire to feel them all. And then we don't have to sidestep any emotion in the world. The next step is social connection. Alan, I know we're I got about 3 minutes left. The next is social connection, right? Deep, meaningful social connection. And you can only trust, love, and appreciate someone at the depth of emotional or conversational intimacy that you can get in with someone. Level 1 conversational intimacy is drama, gossip, sports, news, media, weather, right? Water cooler talk. There's no trust there. That's just knowing like the things that they distract themselves with. Number 2 is their plans. Level 2 are plans, strategies, tactics, their mental processes. It's what's in their mind. But level 3 are their challenges, their fears, their traumas, their deep, meaningful, emotional things. That's what really connects and bonds two human beings. And when you have those level 3 intimate relationships and conversations, then you can fully feel like you are loved and supported in the world. And finally, last is competency in your job and your career and the impact and what you want to do with your business. But if you think about it, I said that's last, but that's what people focus on first. And that typically they lead with competency, but there's so much in the process that they've missed. I was a really good executive leader in corporate, because I focused on competency. And meanwhile, the other 6 I were neglecting on a daily basis. So put that piece last and you can't lose, guys. So if you do those 7 steps, right, and you fully immerse, not focus on some of them, but focus on all of them at the same time, and intentionally create your day around them, your business, your life, your relationships, your health, wealth, and love, they will multiply exponentially. Build the business leader, and the business builds itself. Thank you so much. And sorry for going over, Alan.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
Really,
amazing. 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 If we can all clap for Mike. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. I'm always so like inspired by your very practical wisdom and understanding and ability to help people with your words and your connections. And so what was coming up for me, some of the questions is like, basically, why did you start your business?
Nobody else would have me. I'm going to be honest. As human beings, we're comfort driven. We're familiar driven. We'll take comfortable or familiar pain rather than unfamiliar growth, if that makes sense. So I just, hey, I just lost 2 jobs in 20 months. I just need another job. So I started interviewing at a whole bunch of companies, and I was always runner up. So it's almost like I felt like I was backed into a corner. But at some point it turned from I don't have any choice to I can't believe I get to do this. Like, this is awesome. And it was that switch. I started my business because it's kind of what I was meant to do the whole time. And it was like God, universe, life's way of saying, look, we're not going to give you what you want. We're going to give you what you need and what you desire the most. But I just had to get past this fear-based thing that, that shows up every single day, no matter who you are.
Yep. I like that. I really like that a lot. I really like that, focusing in the right directions in terms of everything. So how did you know what to offer people, or how did you like gauge of what to give people and give the world?
Let's see. It starts off with this. Joel, I'm going to play a game with you. And you don't have to answer, but hey, Joel, what kind of challenges are showing up in your life and business? Right? What is your challenge? What thing are you looking to overcome right now? And you don't have to answer, but now I can gauge whether Joel, like, if we're going to stay in level 1, like conversation, level 2, or level 3, because the deeper he gets.
Joel unmuted himself, so if you want to chat, Joel, feel free.
Yeah. What problems showing up in your life or your business? I can't hear you.
Got anything coming up for you, Joel?
There we go.
There we go.
Good. Okay. Alan touched on a little bit earlier. It's time and not enough time in the day. And sometimes that's because meetings roll over and I'm not sticking to my time block. I don't have respect enough for either myself, the person I'm talking to, or the next person I'm going to be talking to. And I got to figure that out.
You get to figure it out. You don't have to, you get to. Just a little tweak there. But I like when you said not enough respect for myself, because I have maybe 4 meetings a day and I leave about 45 minutes in between each meeting because I deserve that time. I don't have to go from meeting to meeting, and I don't have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off. And at the same time, my bank account is not hurting because of that, right? Because there's value in those meetings, and I don't have to cram my day because of some expectation that I hold about this thing that I need more than the peace and tranquility that I deserve right this second. I don't know if that helps or not, but slow down to speed up. So Joel, are you open to some help with that?
Yes.
Okay. That's how I started my business. That's literally, those are the types of questions and the conversations I had to start my business. And then I got to choose if I wanted to help the person or not, or if I couldn't, I'd say, hey, I know this guy that might be able to help you. And my business started building quickly. And I went from making, double 6 figures in corporate to nothing, to first full year in business to making double six figures again. All right. And just by asking people what kind of challenges they were having in their life and business, and then inviting myself in to work with them. And then they got to say yes or no. Making money's not that hard if we're doing what we're intended to do.
Y'all need to write that down.
Yeah.
I want some pens and pads and some pencils. It's not that hard if you're doing what you're intended to do.
I worked with a lady that on Monday, she said she was thinking about like coaching. She'd always wanted to coach. And we started to work through some thoughts, some ideas, some concepts. And on Friday, she made a $25,000 deal. I mean, guys, when we are in alignment with our gifts and our talents, money has no choice but to fill up your bank account. I believe that every second of every day.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Joe, for your question.
Yeah, thanks for letting me use it, Joe.
Yep. So Mike's going to repost. He's going to repost his introduction. Do not scroll up higher than Mike's introduction if you already have. It's just craziness going on in there from earlier. But so our next question is, how long did it take you to like how long did it take? You said there was a gap between, great in corporate America, then nothing. How long did it take you to bounce back from nothing to where you are now in your own practice?
Yeah. So let's talk timeline. March of 2016, I was terminated the second time. April 1st was the first time. And guys, I'm a Marine veteran as well. Okay. So there's like this thing in me that won't quit. I contemplated suicide, and I literally was seconds from taking my life, and I wrote about it in my book. And that was a decision. And I figured out if I didn't pull the trigger, then I was going to like wipe the whole slate clean and start over from scratch. Because why would I live if I didn't do that, right? So April 1st, I kind of decided not to kill myself and to start doing something. And I walked down my steps and I jumped on a treadmill, and I was 300 pounds. And I mean, it was just complete chaos. And I ran for a half mile and about killed myself. But so I say I'm a Marine, right? Former Marine, that I let myself get that far out of alignment. Okay. So April 1st, I kind of hit the reset. That was 2016. The first, so I went on an accelerated journey, hired a coach, went on an accelerated journey. And around April of 2017, I signed my first coaching client. So I went from March all the way through April with no income. And from there, things started building. And as my confidence started building, so did my client portfolio. And in 2018, the calendar year 2018, I completely replaced my corporate income. That was my first full year in business. And again, it's when you're aligned for that thing, it comes easily and naturally. And it's your confidence and courage and your clarity in who you are and what you want and what you're here for. It starts to grow exponentially. But again, focus on building the business owner or the business leader and not the business. The business will build through you. So sometimes we focus on, how do I market? How do I do these things? Yeah, they're all great. But when you build yourself, those things come a whole lot easier.
Amazing. So think about this. What is like if you could pick only one quality that was a quality that helped you to get that traction so quickly, what would that one quality be?
Courage. Yeah, courage. There was a time I didn't even have the courage to stand up to my wife. And my wife was in active addiction as well. She was addicted to pharmaceuticals. So we were in like toxic codependence together. It was like beautiful chaos. And I wouldn't even stand up to her. And I wouldn't even I knew what I wanted, but I wouldn't fight for what I thought I deserved in life. I would just let everyone else in my life tell me what to, tell me who I was or what I needed or what they wanted from me. And it was literally that emotional courage to stand up and have the conversations that I didn't want to have with my wife, with my children. The courage to ask Joel what challenges are showing up in your life, and are you open to some help with that? That's an act of courage. an act of courage to reach out, message Dave, right, and say, "Hey, I've got a slot open in my coaching program, and I know I can help. Are you interested in taking that slot?" That's an act of courage. Okay, all those little things amount to because I mean we fear rejection, we fear isolation, we fear people abandoning us, and every time you put yourself and you put your neck on the platter, you're just risking all of those relationships, right? So, and it's an act of courage and trust, knowing that when I do this, things are going to build instead of things that are going to deteriorate. My wife took control and authority over her addiction because I took control and authority over mine, even though she was fighting me to not do that. She just wanted her drinking buddy back. That's all. She didn't want this. She didn't want a business. She didn't want health. She didn't want all of this. She just wanted her drinking buddy back. But it was an act of courage to stand on my own 2 feet. And then when you honor yourself, the world will honor you too. But the world won't honor you unless you honor yourself.
Wow.
The world only, how about this? You'll only get love at the extent and at the depth that you provide that for yourself.
You could basically only get the amount of love that you're willing to give yourself.
Yeah. No doubt. If you don't love, appreciate, respect, value yourself, you're never going to get that from other people. The world, people outside of you will show you exactly how you feel about yourself. If someone gets mistreated on a regular basis, then if we were to crack open their rib cage and their heart and their belief system, they're ripping themselves to shreds on a daily basis. But when you start to put that back together and rewire that love, respect, appreciation inside, then the outside starts to reflect that as well.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. And the last question, okay, the very, very last question of our interview is, what is the imposter in charge?
What is the imposter in charge? I was the imposter in charge. That's why my book is titled The Imposter in Charge, because it was me. The imposter syndrome is where there's elements of insecurity, inadequacy, and significance inside of you, and you're afraid to show the world, or you're afraid to have the world find out. And the greatest for me, and here's one you want to tattoo on your forehead. The greatest antidote to the imposter syndrome is full transparency. Look, I was physically, mentally, emotionally abusive to my wife and kids. There were times where there was sexual abuse in my marriage. I hid those away for so long, and it's impossible to feel normal. It's impossible to feel valuable when you're hiding away so much in your life. I was scared, but I was afraid of telling someone I was scared. I was afraid of being exposed as not having it all figured out. And it's hard to, it's like you walk through the world on eggshells. But when I lead with that, right? When I tell people that up front, I don't have to hide from anything anymore. Right? I can, if you accuse me of something, I'll tell you you're right. And I'll say, well, I've already wrote that in my book. Right? Well, you're abusive. Yeah, that's who I used to be. And I wrote it in my book. You're not telling me anything I don't know or anything that I wouldn't share from other people. I was molested when I was a child. I'm not going to run from that anymore. Right? Yeah, it's all part of my story. It's not who I am anymore. None of that shit's who I am anymore. And if you judge me from that place, you're an asshole, not me. So, and that's the imposter syndrome is literally about hiding away because you feel insecure, inadequate, or insignificant, and just hoping that other people don't see that from you. But if you tell them you feel those, then, you're not going to be exposed. I'll tell you, every day I wake up, there's a sense of insecurity and inadequacy inside. Who am I to do this? Who am I to be this? What happens if my wife leaves me? I mean, those things are there. So I face them on a daily basis, and I'll tell everybody who I come across, so that I don't have to feel like I'm hiding from anybody. I'll tell anybody anytime, anything, anytime, anywhere about me, because I value feeling normal and valuable and worthy more than I want their appreciation, or more than I want their validation.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful words, you know. And God,
as you were talking, the word addiction popped into my mind. Guys, I'm addicted to peace. I'm addicted to happiness, and I'm getting emotional. I'm addicted to feeling really good. And there were so many times in my life where I felt like that I was almost felt guilty for wanting to feel good, or like I needed to be somebody else. And I was addicted to stress and struggle and drama and chaos. And now I'm just addicted to feeling really, really good and valuable and worthy. And I don't need anything outside of me to feel that. And it's not just me, right? That's available to all of us. Please understand. It's available to all of us. It's not just one human being. You don't have to be anybody specific to feel that or adopt that. You literally just have to pour everything that you pour into others into yourself. And if you're not, Melissa, if you're not pouring into someone else from an intentional state, start pouring into yourself. Understand that. Start giving that to yourself, and then it'll grow outside of you, right? And I don't know why I just said that, but someone needed to hear it maybe. But I'm just addicted to. I'm addicted to the joy that I get out of being Mike Kitko. And I can't always say that was the case. But again, it's available to all of us. Nothing separates me from anyone else. Can I tell this one story, Alan?
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to a group of business leaders in Canada through my friend. And we were on a call. It was right at the beginning of COVID. And we were on a call. And the guy who had the group, and it was about 20 people there or so, the guy who was facilitating, we're personal friends, and he's a good friend of mine. And after I jammed with him for about an hour and a half, I got a text, and the text said, "Hey, I hope that you don't mind. I asked Alvin for your phone number. And I hope you don't mind." And I said, "No, not at all. Thanks for texting me." He said, like the very next response was, "Oh I can't believe you responded to me." And I was like, "The fuck you mean by that?" And he said, "Well, you're an author and you're a coach and blah, blah, blah." I was like, "I got bills upstairs on my desk, and my kids argue, and I got shit around my house that's broken. And, I pop off at my wife and my kids sometimes, and there's nothing perfect about me. So it sounds like you've put me up on a pedestal, and that's really unfair, because when you find out I'm not perfect, you're going to be really disappointed. And you're going to blame that on me. So please either knock out the pedestal or get up here with me, because we're on the same plane." And this is how you feel normal in the world, and realizing that we all have something inside of us that's in turmoil that we're working through, and there's nobody better than you, and there's nobody worse than you. We're all just equally imperfect. That's it.
Wow.
We're all just through in different places of our journey. That's
Amazing.
it. Yeah. Anyway.
Amazing. So guys, we're at our hour now. Really, really quickly, if each of you, I'm gonna ask each of you to unmute yourself. If you can say how you experience Mike Kitko in one word, just one word. How do you experience Mike Kitko? Please do. Let's go one at a time. Just one word.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Thank you.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, inspiring. That's what I was thinking too.
Thank you.
Motivation.
Inspiring. Encouraging.
Courage.
Thank you. I received.
Courage.
Authentic.
Intentional.
Authentic. Intentional.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mike, you're the man. You're making an impact on all of our lives. You truly lead from your heart. And I salute you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
I salute you.
Thank you for your service also, Mike.
Yeah, the Marine Corps did more for me than I did for it. Trust me.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
enjoyed
you, guys.
meeting all of you.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
All right. Peace out, everybody. We're now at the end of our meeting. Love you all. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yep. A good one.